Okay, it's back to the camper. Uh, since I previously said in one of my recent videos, I don't know if it was the last one before, something like that, my back's kind of messed up. I had to find something here to do that is kind of less strenuous. So the camper still has maybe, I don't know, like 2 or 3 days worth of work before I can bring it outside and put it back on the truck. Even when I do that, it won't be completely done. There's still the cushions that have to be measured and ordered, and well, we have to find the material and then bring the material and the foam to a cushion making person, because that's a little bit beyond my skill level. What I have to do today is a bunch of small things. First thing being attach the checker plate and attach like this trim, this aluminum trim and whatnot. It's all kind of half attached. It's held there right now with butyl tape. The butyl tape is there to seal it. It's in behind, and it's a sticky stuff. If you don't know what it is, this is what it is. It's kind of a, well, I show you. It's a soft, squishy, sticky, waterproof, silly putty stuff. It's actually kind of cool. The wife likes it. She likes it way too much. She puts this stuff on everything. Okay, so I'll grab some tools and we'll start making some holes. The one part I'm concerned about is this piece here. The drill tends to wander and I don't have a punch, so maybe I'll use a nail, but I have to get the screws exact. Otherwise, it's going to look silly. Okay, I'm going to go extremely slow and careful. For that reason, I don't think I need to wear eye protection. I should have checked to see that the bit was tight first. Okay, now I'll find just a bit bigger bit. Hey, bigger bit. Getting these little aluminum curlies all over the floor. I guess I could vacuum them later. Okay, so that was the one experimental one. Let's put a screw in there and see how it works out. Well, that seems good. Perfect. Now I'll put one in the bottom around the same level, and then I can just measure between them to make them all even. Okay, so the small holes are all marked now. Okay, 11 inches. So 5.5 puts me right around there. Now the checker plate, it can't be exact because these little things, you can't drill a straight hole into them, so but that's okay. As long as it's mighty close. Peel the butyl tape out every time I do this. Gets all caught in the drill bit. Okay, this is just for those who don't know. In this situation, the green wires here, I have 2 of them. They are ground. So I will ground them on the box, not there, but down inside onto the ground screw. And then I will put a tail on them so that the tail can go to the receptacle plug. The white wires are called neutral. They will also get a tail and they will go straight to the receptacle. Just connecting these 2 together with one more, making a tail. That's what I mean by a tail. These 2 black, they're your hots. They go together, and then what it is the piece that I cut off of one of them, I will add on for a tail. Well, I'll show you when it's done, I guess. So that's how this is all done. This is just a spare wire. It might come in handy in the future, but also it's a 3-wire. That's what I happen to have. So I'm just using scraps. I'm going to connect them together right now, see how this works with these. These are Moret's. Well, also Moret is like the company name, brand name. They're called wire nuts. You can see the little black one is smaller. It's a 31. The bigger one is a 33, and then they got bigger yet is a 35. They step up in numbers like that. So you can't really go by the color because you might have a black 33 and a red 31 or vice versa. So you don't go by the colors. It should be marked somewhere on it what it is. And that is to how many wires you can put of a certain gauge in it. Because I have to connect 3 wires together, they will get the bigger ones. They'll get the 33s. If you ever have to just connect 2 wires together, they would get the 31. Or if I just want to put a cap on one, I just use the small one, 31. Now the only issue here is using Moret's on something that vibrates. It might not be a good solution. I might have to later solder them and do them that way. But we'll see. For now, they're just getting Moret's. This receptacle box might have to come out again as well. And I still have not found a cover, an outdoor cover that suits my needs for this. I've found lots that are cheap and cheesy, but I don't know. I kind of want a good one, and it seems that all the good ones are old. Maybe if I found an old house they were tearing down and got one off of it. They just made stuff better back then. Anyways, so I'll throw this together and I'll show you what it looks like with the tails. Okay, so what I'm doing here, this is how we do it in Canada. I imagine it's different probably most everywhere else, except for maybe the States. It's probably the same. Okay, so I said I was going to show you. Here's the tails. I got my tail for my ground wire, my tail for my neutral wire, and my tail for my hot wire. Now, one thing you might notice is they're not very long. If I was doing this in a house, I would make everything longer. The one thing here is I use this thing, it's called an easy box, which is meant to go somewhere where you don't have studs or you're fishing wires down walls. This box is kind of like magic the way it goes in. But the one disadvantage to this box is they're tiny inside. So if I do have to put a GFIC on here, which is a ground fault plug, they are almost the size of this box. So getting them in is sometimes a bit of a nightmare. That's why leaving the wires short like this it just leaves more room in the box. Okay, so I'll throw the plug on and see how that goes. One other thing I failed to mention, when you're wrapping the ground wires around screws, always go clockwise. That way the wire, as you're tightening the screw, the wire stays under it. It doesn't flop out. If you go counterclockwise with the wire, wrapping it around, it won't stay in there good. Now I've got the wires all wrapped around the screws. Now that's one other thing I'd like to show is people might say, well, why didn't you just stick them in these holes? Because that's what these holes are for. Well, I was taught to never do that. It doesn't make a good connection in the holes, and they arc, and over time it's just a flaw waiting to happen, or it could be a fire waiting to happen. So in this situation, take my advice, wrap the wires around the screws. It's a tight connection. Okay, now this is one reason that keeping old receptacles and switches isn't always a great idea, because after all this work, this receptacle's not gonna work. Yeah, I'll see if I can show what the issue is here. The cover plate for this, yeah, I just got these just stuck in here. Keep the dirt out. Okay, the cover plate has a screw in the center. That center screw goes into there. Well, there's nothing in that hole for it to thread in. Cannot attach cover plate. So now, I guess it's, well, I have to go to town later today, so I guess I'll be splurging that 98 cents for a new one. There we go. It's gonna look somewhat like that for temporary. I know, it's kind of funny, but until I can find a cover plate, a decent closing cover, but it'd be nice if I could match the color as well. Okay, so that's as far as I can go with that. I've got the bottom all screwed, the sides and that, so we're almost done on the back. I have to go to town, the big city, maybe this weekend, and see if I can find the proper plastic inserts that hold the window in. Apparently they make them, apparently Home Depot has them, so I don't know, we'll take a look. And once that's wrapped up, a couple more minor things and it can go outside in the rain. Well, it doesn't really rain here much, but anyways. Okay, this part I'm filming for my wife's benefit. She thinks I don't know how to work one of these things. Oh, Benjamin really wants to help now. For some reason, they love the vacuums. And she thinks that I never clean up. I do a fine cleaning up job. What is it about the vacuum that the dogs like so much? Or hate, I don't know. What is it, Ben? Why do you want this thing so badly? Do you think it is evil? Or do you think it is your friend? Oh, it looks like you think it's evil. Okay, I think that's got it. Okay, I'm gonna turn the evil sucking machine off. All gone. It's all gone now. Okay, Ben, what do you think of the job I did? Looks pretty good, doesn't it? From a distance. You're such a good boy. You are. Almost all the time. I said almost all the time. You have very clean teeth. Did Mommy brush your teeth? Okay, that's about it for now. This lame back guy has to take a break. Back at it tomorrow. So imagine there'll be another camper video coming soon.